Howdy, 7th grade. Today we are going to be talking about area and perimeter and how to find them. I know that's a lot, but welcome to pre-algebra. So we are going to start just by thinking about Mr. O'Connor's classroom. So I'm going to talk about my classroom, Mr. O'Connor's room. But to do that, first I need a picture of my classroom. So give me just 1 second. And there it is. You can tell it's my classroom because that is me inside of it. So what we want to talk about today is both what area and perimeter are and also how we can find them. So we're going to start with area. And if we remember what area is, it's how much space something has. We can also think like how much tile or how much paint we need to cover something, but it's how much space something has. So when we're talking about my classroom, when we're talking about the area of my classroom, what the area of my classroom would tell me is it would tell me how many kids I can fit in here. It would tell me how many books I can fit in here. It would tell me that the room's much too small to play a game of football, but it might be big enough to play some ping pong. And area is going to give a general gist of just how big the room is. And we'll work on finding that in a second, but first I want to define perimeter. So perimeter is the distance around something. So if we're thinking of the perimeter of my classroom, it's what distance you would go if you walked all the way around my classroom. And I'll tell you how we want to think about that, is that when I think of perimeter, I want us to think of perimeter. And when I say perimeter, I am talking about Agent P. I hope there's some people in here who watch Perry the Platypus. And if you didn't know, Perry the Platypus is a secret agent. So when he goes around the room, if he were to try to go around my classroom, as a secret agent, he would creep on the sides and stay right along the sides as he went all the way around the classroom, creeping around like secret agents do. And after he made one lap, that distance that Perry went, so the distance Perry goes, is the perimeter. Perry goes is the perimeter. I know that's a hideous Agent P, but you know, that's okay. So I want us to get a little bit more context now and to actually do a problem. So for my classroom, I'm going to say that my classroom is 25 feet by 30 feet. I have to make sure I'm in there. That way you can tell it's my classroom because I'm inside. And my classroom is 25 feet by 30 feet, and I want to find both the area and the perimeter. So we're going to start off with my example to find the area. Well, the formula for area is just going to be length times width for rectangles. So for rectangles, draw a rectangle. It's length times width. And I already have my length times width. My length is going to be 30 times my width, which is 25. And if I do this calculation, I will end up getting that it is 750. My next question would be 750 what? And the answer, we had feet, so I'm going to write that down. But we went from having a distance, which was right here, to having an area. And the area is the entire inside of this. So if we went from having the distance to the area, I'm no longer going to be in feet, I'm now going to be in square feet. Feet squared. And if you know what squared means, it means essentially feet times feet. And feet times feet is exactly what we did. We multiplied our two areas together. So instead of having 1 feet, we're actually going to have a 2 feet or feet squared. And that would be how I would find my area. Another example would be that I need to find the perimeter. So to find the perimeter, we want to think about Agent P, and he's going to start in a corner somewhere. Agent P is going to start here, he's got to make it all the way around the classroom. So he's going to start going down this way, and that is 25 feet long. Plus, he's going to keep going. He's going to go over here, and that right there is 30 feet. And now he's in this corner, and he's got to go up. That distance he just went was 25 feet. And then he's got to go all the way over to kind of finish his lap around the room, and that last distance was going to be 30. So all these are feet. I have 25 plus 30 plus 25 plus 30. That would be 55 plus 55, or 110. We are still doing a distance, and feet is going to be our measure of distance. Just like that. I am done with the perimeter. So I want to show you guys one more problem, which would be a hard problem. Hard mode. And I want to show you what that would look like. Would be if I had a shape that looks something like that. But I'm just going to fill in numbers here. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 5. This is going to be 2. And this is going to be 9. So looking at this, it's kind of a weird shape. So if I want to find the area and perimeter, I'm going to put that here. Find area and perimeter. I don't really know where to start right away, because this isn't just a rectangle. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to actually break this up into rectangles. So I'm going to draw a line right here. I'm going to draw a line right there. And now I have 1, 2, and 3 rectangles I'm dealing with. And that's going to make my life a lot easier. So I can start labeling on this distances that I know. So this right here is 2. Then that length right there should also be 2. Which means that this length right here is also going to be 2. If this is 2 and that's 9, that means that this part right here has to be added to my 2 to get to 9, which means this is going to be 7. I know that was a little strange, but just to get to the 9 total, which is the whole bottom, I had to make sure that these two parts, one here and one here, would add together to get 9. So now I have a few more of the lengths, and I know that if this is 7, then moving up this right here has to be 7. And I'm getting close. I almost have all my sides labeled. I just need this side right here. So I'm going to take my 5, and I know this length right here has to be the same as this length here. Just moving it on down by 5 there, which means that also from here down is going to be 5. So if this segment and this segment add to 8, then 5 plus something has to equal 8, and that something's going to be 3. I know that was a lot, but now that we have that, we've got 1, 2, 3 different rectangles we can deal with. So for the area, it is going to be the area of my first rectangle, which is 3 times 2, plus the area of my second rectangle, which is 2 times 5, plus the area of my third rectangle, which is 5 times 7. And just like that, I'll be able to find my area, which is 6 plus 10 plus 35. Adding all that together, 16 plus 35 is going to be 51. I don't know what the units are, so I'm just going to leave it. The next part is the perimeter, which I'm going to do the exact same way. I'm going to take Perry. He's going to start off in a corner, and we're just going to trace away around my shape. So it's going to be 9 here. 9 plus going up is going to be 5 and 7. Let me write that. 5 plus 7. Then here I have a 3 and a 2. And one more time going all the way down, I have 8. So I can add all these up. 9 plus 5 is going to be 14, plus 7 is 21, plus 3 is 24, plus 2 is 26, plus 8 is going to be 34. Once again, I don't have units, so I'm just going to leave it. But both of these are going to be my answers for area and perimeter. Just like that, I'm done. So please work on that practice part, the ones with the letters, and I will see you all in class tomorrow. Have a great day.